Hello guys, I have just spent over 600,000 gold on mats, and in today's video I will show you how I made it this much. I know that it can be really hard to make gold right now in the war within. That is why I'm trying to find those niche ways of making gold that can actually yield you quite a lot of it. However, if you know about this method, it might not seem that unique, but actually I have been overlooking this because I thought it was quite bad. I did it a little bit in the beginning of the expansion, but after that I have just left it. Hopefully you will enjoy it, and hopefully you can join up doing this method and make yourself some extra bag. Maybe you need that little extra push to actually be able to afford the Brutosaur before the 6th of January. I wish you best of luck. Please guys, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends. Also check out Goldcap in the top of the description, but let's get going. So as you might have seen before, I made it over 700k when I invested 600k. This maybe doesn't seem too much, making 100k, but in just a minute or two I will show you why this method is just so insane. I don't really know why nobody's talking about this. Maybe it is because they are not knowing about this, or they are keeping it a secret, because from what I can see right now, this is very powerful. We are using the profession engineering, but don't be afraid, because after you have seen this, most likely you want to jump on engineering ASAP. I don't really know, but I feel like this is one of the best ways right now to actually make gold with professions. I have not seen a method like this in quite a bit actually, because it seems very good. At least I have tried it quite a lot now, and it just looks so powerful. So the basics of it is that you are pilfering through parts to get parts for the crowd pummeler mount, which can be really expensive. As you can see here in the bag, this is all I got after spending 600k on mats. Then I got items worth 700k. I'm calculating all of the piles as vendor price, so you can just vendor a stack for 5,000 gold. However, you can spend it on other stuff if you want to as well, but in this example I am counting them as vendor price just to be as accurate as possible. What you are getting is basically these materials: the blinker fluid, the pummel proof plating, the cataclysmic converter, and also the assorted whirligigs. You're getting some bountiful bolts as well, but those are pretty much useless, just a gold each. Those items are really expensive. As you can see, 22,000 each, 3,000 each, etc. This is really expensive materials. They actually sell quite well from what I have tested now, and this actually looks like a really powerful method. So what I have done is actually crafted the guy rating gear as cheap as I possibly can, and I have actually pilfered through those. I am not sure, because I know that some people is pilfering through the dragonflight material, the greased up gears. I am not sure if those are better than the guy rating gear. You can craft the guy rating gear for so cheap, so that is why I have only tested them. Also, I got a tip from a guy in our Discord community about this, and I started to trying it out immediately, and it looks really powerful. So I am just going with the guy rating gear because you can craft them so cheap. So what I basically did is I invested in mats for 600k so I could craft as many of those as possible, and then I pilfered through all of them, and this is what I ended up with. However, there is one more item that you can get that is way bigger RNG, but is so OP for this gold making method, because this is what makes huge impact on how much gold you can make. Because all of the items that I've gotten here is fairly like reliable. I got 15, 25, 75, and like this is like fairly reliable on things that you actually get while pilfering. So making profit without this last item makes this method just so insane, because as you guys can see, I made 100k from 600k investment, but I also had a chance of get the pummel permit, which is worth 500,000 gold, and this is not some like weird price. This is hovering around 500,000 all the time. It's worth 500k because this mount is actually worth 2 million, and I'm on Draenor, which is like a very populated server. I know that on other realms the mount is worth like 3 million. All of those parts is region wide, so we will have all the same prices. I'm on EU, so it will be around 500k for you. So I had a chance of getting the pummel permit. This is like the RNG on this is very high. I'm not sure like what the percentage of dropping this is, but as long as you are making profit without even getting this is just so OP, right? Because imagine if I got this one when I pilfered, I would have made 500k more than the 100k that I already made. So then I would have made 600k on a 600k investment, right? So this is just the RNG item that is like a jackpot to hit, but you are making a lot of profit out of this anyways. But if you count in this in your average like profit pilfering, it will increase it a lot, of course. However, this is really low chance to get. I don't know exactly how many guy rating gear that I was pilfering through right now, but I think it was around 25-30k. I'm not sure, it might have been more. As I said, around 600k worth of items, and I got 700k back. So as you can see, this is just crazy, and you're not seeing those kind of margins in any other professions. I can't tell you like the hard margin here. You can get the pommel permit from it, and that's what make it like so insane, because you're making gold either way. And this is actually a pretty easy setup to do. I guess already a lot of you guys might have a engineer which is pretty much set up for this, but maybe you are not. And now we'll just quickly go through right now and show you what you need to be able to do this. What you're doing is pilfering through parts that will actually only require you a total of 100 knowledge points in inventing, and you will actually only need 15 points in the ingenious. So it actually is even less. You only need to spend 85 points on this because you don't need 30 in ingenious. So you will basically be looking to have 40 in inventing, 30 in scrapper. You will want 15 in ingenious, so you can get this buff here when you do the inventing, so you get a lot of resourcefulness. That's all you need to be able to do this. And of course you need the resourcefulness tool. When you are pilfering, it will get you resourcefulness, which is really important. Also, a quick tip, the file of bountiful season is changed over to resourcefulness. So now actually using the bountiful seasons file will give you 135 resourcefulness. So I got like 4 or 5% resourcefulness extra there, which is really OP, and you should always use this, so don't forget about it. However, if you're going to craft a Gaia rating gear yourself, you're going to need a little bit of an extra setup, right? So you're going to need the multicraft tool, because the multicraft actually impacts the Gaia rating gear but not the pilfering. So you will need this tool for actually doing the Gaia rating gear. However, the spec is not that different. As you can see, you still need 40 in inventing, you need 30 in scrapper, and you need 15 in ingenious. So all you need is 40 more points in parts, which can be a little bit more, but it's not overwhelming, I think. And a lot of you hopefully already started on engineering, so you can get this setup going quite fast. But otherwise, just start working on it. You should get your way there like really quick. It's so fast to catch up with professions now, I feel like, because this is not too many points that you actually need to do this. So yeah, it's fairly easy actually to set up. But when you have this fully set up, you are good to go. So the skill points in your profession should not matter either. So you don't have to have 100 skill, and it seems to not actually give you anything extra than if you are a gnome as well for engineering, because it looks like skill is not impacting this at all. I do not know like the odds of getting the parts, because to actually make a spreadsheet for this and calculate like what the percentages of each drop is, you probably would have to pilfer through like millions. I would say maybe 100 million pilferings to get the actual like ish chance of getting the pommel permit, because it's like quite rare. So I don't even know if you like can even make a spreadsheet for this, so it's probably not going to happen. So this is like quite hard to actually know when you're making profit and not. It should be profitable, right? Unless all of those prices are suddenly crashing now after this video, which I don't hope, because like I don't think too many is going to jump on this. I don't know, because it's like a little bit uncertain to know when you are profiting, etc. And you can even go the extra mile to make the mount after. Just make sure you have the resourcefulness tool, because it impacts a lot on the mount, because you can actually resourcefulness proc the pommel permit when you're crafting the mount, which will save you like 500k, which is just ridiculous. I actually crafted one of those yesterday, and I only got resourcefulness proc on the cataclysmic converter, sadly, but still it can be really good. I don't know like how long it will take you to pilfer through enough parts. Like the crafting of the Gaia rating gear is taking longer time than actually pilfering through them, so it can take you some time, but you should be looking at quite a good gold per time spent, and this is so AFKable. I feel like this is so worth it right now. If you want to take it another step, you can actually scour through scrap, and you can scour through the pile of rusted scraps here. It will give you a lot of random stuff, like as you can see, a lot of rank 1 material materials and other stuff that you can get from this. However, this is taking so much time, so I think it's probably worth it just to vendor it and go again and crafting the guy-written gear and pilfer through parts and skipping that step, because it's just gonna take you too much time instead of just pilfering, because that is where you make your main gold, right? So if you guys want to try out this, I hope you will make a lot of profit. Please let me know how many pilferings you needed to do before you got your first pommel permit, because this seems to vary a lot. I've heard like some people getting it from like doing just 5k pilferings, and some has to wait like 50k, so it varies a lot. But since it's profitable without it, you shouldn't really care about that. There are other ways to spend your scrap as well. I actually made all of the toys to all of my 65 realms on EU to actually spread it out and sell. I've had some success with them, and they are selling fairly well when you sell them in scale. So I actually have decided to value my pile of rusted scrap at 10 gold right now, just to value them at something when crafting. I feel like 10 gold can be decent. It's worth way less, obviously, but 10 gold is pretty good, and actually you can see when you craft for profit using that way. And if you spread it out, you can sell toys like crazy as well. I hope you guys will make some crazy gold using this method. Maybe you can make enough gold to make that Brudo in time. Just be aware, it can be some competition selling those items, and they are like high ticket items. Usually they sell in a bulk when someone is planning to craft the mount. Rarely somebody will come and buy one, right? Because they need like 20, or maybe they just buy the fillers that they are missing after pilfering as well. So maybe you will sell a few, but I highly just recommend you guys to try this method out, and let me know if you are successful and if you're making any gold. Please subscribe to the channel, check out Gold Cap in the top of the description, like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.